Hey everyone, this is Byron from Vance Hines, and today we're going to clean the air filter element on this VO2 blade. It's something that should be done every 5,000 miles with a normal service, and it's pretty easy to do. So let's walk through the steps and knock it out right now. Alright guys, so now it's time to get the cover off this thing. On something like this, a VO2 blade or an X or a Rogue, you'll have to pull the ARP hardware. That's done with a 5/16 12-point socket. And we'll go ahead and get that off no problem. Now, if you have a VO2 naked or something that reutilizes the OEM or an accessory cover, you'll want to pull the bolts in the center, pull the cover off, and then there'll be 3 more bolts. Pull those and the air filter falls right out. This one's a bit more complicated just because we have to worry about not damaging these standoffs, so let's get to it. So when I get to this point, what I'll typically do is I'll hang on to the standoff, pull the hardware out, put it back in, and I'll set it down just like this on a table, just to make sure I don't damage anything, and I will do it opposite ends. So if I start pulling this one, then I'll pull this one next, and then I'll show you how to remove the last 2. Alright, so when it comes down to the last 2, I'll have a couple tricks. 1, support it from the base. 2, the uppermost one, unthread that guy, and then what you'll do is you'll pull this whole thing off as one big assembly, just like that. So I'll set it down on a table, just like this, and then I'll pop the air filter out. So now that the air filter's out, we'll go ahead, put this guy on the table, and now it's time to go ahead and clean this air filter element. All right, so we're over on my patio so I don't damage anything. I've got my Power Clean from K&N. You can get this at any auto parts store, or I got it at the Harley dealership. You want to take your air filter element and just saturate it. So don't be shy about how much of this you put on there. You want to put quite a bit. So you want to spray it on the outside portion, all the way around, flip it over, and do it again from the inside. And again, be pretty liberal with it. Alright, now that that's done, we'll go ahead and flip it over, no reason why. And we'll let it sit for about 10 to 15 minutes. Now that it's sat for a bit, I'm going to get my little garden hose here. I've got it turned way down, so it's about the same as a faucet. And then we're going to rinse it. But when we rinse this, the important thing is to do it from the inside out. So now that that's done, what we'll do is we'll go ahead and take this, and then we'll hang it up to dry. Once it's dry, we'll go ahead and oil it. All right, so now that everything's clean, we're gonna take our filter oil, our filter, and go ahead and just spray a very, very light coating. So that's it, not very much at all. All right, so now we're back at the side of the bike. So what I'll do is that kind of setup we had earlier with the ARP hardware and the standoffs. So what I want to hide is this metal line right there. So I want to use one of these to hide how that's manufactured. So go ahead, place that on there so you don't see it anywhere. Line it up, and then just get a couple threads by hand. So once you've gotten a few by hand, go ahead and tighten it down a little bit. So then you can grab the hardware and work on the rest. So remember, the wide bottom flange goes towards the back plate, and this guy goes towards the cover. So slide it in, a couple threads on there. Same over here, slide it in, get it in there, a couple threads, and now we torque the whole thing down. So there you have it, it's back on. We've got to clean it off, but other than that, we're done. All right guys, so the filter, we went ahead, removed it, we cleaned it, we let it dry, we oiled it, we reinstalled it, and we wiped it down. So this VO2 blade is all set, ready to go. Usually if I'm doing this as part of a normal 5,000 mile service, what I'll do is I'll pull this off, spray it down, and hang it up to dry first, or I'll do it while I'm draining my fluids. That saves me a little bit of time on the back end. A little tip and trick, if you happen to have a shop fan where you guys are, or a fan in your garage, go ahead and hang this up on the fan. It'll dry a lot faster. I don't have that option here, so I have an outdoor towel rack that I went ahead and just hung it up on for about an hour, and that was all it took. So again, thank you for joining me on another Workshop Wednesday, and we'll see you guys on the next one.